Good morning, everybody. Trainer Steve checking in for this momentous Momentum Morning, the Thursday edition. And it's a beautiful Thursday out so far. I hear the birds chirping. Everybody comment below with the habit you are working to build. They say it takes 21 to 66 days to make a habit. It's a little bit arbitrary, but what we do know is that if you can continue checking in here consistently, it's like adding little spike tents down to the tent of your habits so they don't get blown away in the winds of now. All right. Today we've got another heuristic we're going to cover in the 10 hidden influences that make or break your diet series. These influences affect your brain at a subconscious level, which then results in how you make your decisions. And so if we can go about life paying attention to what these heuristics and hidden influences are, we can be more aware of how to keep them at bay. So without further ado, let's move into the heuristic hazard of the day with influence number 4 on the 10 hidden influences series. And good morning to you, Chantel. I see you there in the comment check-ins. All right. All right. Loss-aversion heuristic. This has been something studied. There's actually a whole field called behavioral economics. They look at what are the odds and probabilities, and also how do different behaviors affect how we interact. And so scientists, one of the leading ones, Daniel Kahneman, has a quote to say about it. The concept of loss aversion is certainly the most significant contribution of psychology to behavioral economics. So what is the loss aversion bias? It's a heuristic when the pain of loss is greater than the pleasure of gaining. It makes it harder for us to give up things we love, like the foods we eat and the identities we have for ourselves. And when it comes to our diet, we do the same thing big time. Here's the science. Studies by Kahneman and Tversky suggest that for individuals, the pain of losing is psychologically 2 times as powerful as the pleasure of gaining. So that means that it hits you twice as hard. This is why it's so hard to break up with somebody or leave a relationship that we don't really like, because we're worried about the pain of loss that we're going to feel by not having that relationship anymore. And in our mind, it's 2 times as painful to leave that relationship than it is to stay in it, which is why when we have an unhealthy relationship with eating, we still feel a loss from wanting to leave that unhealthy relationship with bad eating.
I think we should break up.
So in conclusion, loss aversion can affect your food choices in a few ways. It makes non-diet friendly foods more tempting, and it can make it hard to give up certain food identities you may have for yourself. It can also make it hard to say no to free foods, snacks, or things that are given to you as gifts or at public events such as birthday parties. So here's a practical example that you can do to avoid loss aversion. Get a diet buddy and utilize its effects. Pay the partner $50 each time you miss the workout or flub the diet. Real quick, you're going to be like, I better not flub my diet anymore, or I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage or rent.
Girl, I'm broke.
So that's something you can do. It's a little bit extreme, but if you want to make big changes, sometimes you got to do some extreme things. Here's what to do. Understand you pay a higher price for dietary indiscretion. Even though it feels like, I'll just have that little Snickers bar. What we don't realize is all the downstream effects that come with that, meaning that we're not going to be as proud of our own decision making. So there's going to be a cognitive distortion in our own ability to make decisions. So we're going to be unhappy with ourselves, and we're not going to feel good about what we've been doing. So then we're going to be even more tempted and rationalizing getting bad foods or craving causing foods. Here's another thing you can do. Put money on the line like we talked about. Hire a coach. Big time benefit to hiring a coach. We're here to track with you on how you're doing with your diet. As we know in the group, the members that have been watching, I've been tracking along with Mr. Baron Adams pretty closely with his food stuff to see where he's going with his weight, and he's making his weight goals just like that. Number 2, make a diet bet with somebody. Those tend to work well. I've seen in the past podcast I watched, there's a group of individuals that do something called Sober October, and they had a fitness challenge during that Sober October. And because they were challenging each other in a group and riding each other on bikes, they all lost more weight collectively. And number 3, be accountable, whatever that takes for you to set up accountability. There's so many accountability methods out there. There's even a website called stick.com where you can wager your own money in favor of a group that you're not a fan of, like maybe a Nazi party or something like that, and you can say, if I don't do my goal here, and then I'm going to give this money to the Nazi party, right? And that's another loss aversion heuristic that you can use in your favor because you clearly don't want to lose your money to the Nazi party. And lastly, have those repercussions. That would be a repercussion right there. What would it suck to lose out on or not do because you didn't hit your goals this week? Right? So other than just that feeling, what are the things you're actually losing? Because if you realize that you're losing out on things by not sticking to your diet and exercise program, you start to feel this loss aversion heuristic because the pain becomes twice as great. For myself personally, I grew up in a pretty unhealthy family and not too many finances. So when we were young, it felt like we were really missing out on feeling healthy. It felt like the whole family wanted to be healthier. And so there was this like loss aversion, like, man, I'm really missing out on this. There's a FOMO. And because of that pain of feeling like I'm missing out on that, it has allowed me to drive myself into a different life. It has allowed me to find health and fitness and lead others in that because I'm using the loss aversion heuristic to my favor. I feel like I'm losing out if I'm not helping everybody and giving back because I don't want to see other people suffer. I don't want to see other people get diabetes. I don't want to see other people have their organs fail them. I want you to feel good for your own life, for your own kids, so you can have fun on vacation and feel good about yourself as you head yourself into older aging. So that's what the goal is here, making sure we're all sticking to it together, stick to it to get to it. Use that loss aversion heuristic in your favor, however you see possible. And do remember, next time you're forced to make a decision, look at the loss aversion heuristic. Am I feeling the pain of what I might be missing out on? And is that causing me to not take risks, to not take greater chances in life? Don't let that loss aversion stop you. All right, now let's go read the comments and the check-ins in the live feed. What's going on the live feed, everybody? Chantel changed her name, looking like a very much more one of my Asian friend names from UCSD. Good morning, made it live. We'll post what I achieved today later. I chose to sleep in today versus 5 a.m. cardio. That's a good decision on our parts here. We are big believers in getting in that sleep rather than waking up diehard early to do a little bit of cardio. As my man Stat and Efforting says, you're stepping over dollars to pick up nickels when you wake up super early instead of getting that extra beauty sleep. Evelyn Price, good morning. Day 190, no sugar, over 6 grams. Walked 3.25 miles yesterday, even with the rain. Stretches done, hip exercises done, sciatic exercises done, dead buggies done. Started doing side leg lifts last night. Hell yeah. Let's add in an extra little item. Give you a round of applause for that one. Feeling great. Have a great day, everyone. Love to see that your sciatic pain is virtually gone. Let that be a lesson, everybody. If you're not feeling good or feeling well, do something about it. Miss Evelyn went to go see her chiropractor. We gave her some physical therapy exercises to do. We put the whole thing together into soup, and she did the work to drive it home. And because she did, she's feeling much better. Mr. PJ Keen, my man, my brother that busted a rubber. Walking over an hour a day. Not vegan anymore. Once I realized I couldn't eat cheese. Oh, no. Can't do that, brother. None of that vegan cheese for us. But I am still smashing grapes like a pro. Love to see that. Smash those grapes. Doritos down, baby. Chantel says $50. That is extreme. It is. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. But that's just a recommendation I saw elsewhere once a long time ago. Who wants to do this bet with me? I'll do $20 for 21 days to keep off pastries, cakes, or anything over 6 grams sugar. This is awesome, Chantel. I love to see that you're initiating that thought process to see if we can find somebody who's down to do that with you and also be honest about it. Only person I don't want to compete against is Miss Evelyn Price. I know she's putting in the effort big time with the sugar, so I'm not sure I'd want to compete with her either. She's got that good discipline gene there. But hey, man, hopefully, if anybody else is in the group here that wants to take on this challenge, I know Iggy's trying to get a hold of his diet. And there's so many other people in the group that are kind of just sitting back and watching. So I'd love to see how this goes, Miss Chantel. Appreciate you for the laugh on that one. Okay, I'm going to go get back to my squat habit. I've already got 9 reps in this morning. Feeling really good about it. I'm doing 375 pounds without warming up. And probably just over a year ago, I could not even squat 135 pounds with the bar on my back because my hips just would not let me. and mostly my left hip from an injury back at UCSD where I was doing deadlifts. And when I was doing a sumo squat at about 427 pounds, my adductor groin region just went clack, clack, and I felt my heart beating through it. And it had never been the same since. And I've told this story before on here, but I'll say it again. I waited maybe 8 years of life or longer, just like going through immobility in that hip, and it kept getting worse and worse. And I'm like, I can't be a personal trainer and have a hip that just doesn't work at all. This is like embarrassing. I can't even demonstrate how to squat, can't even demonstrate how to deadlift. And it was such a position I didn't want to be in. And then I went to go see the doctor, and the doctor said, I think you need a hip replacement. I'll go send you to another specialist. And then when I got to the other specialist, he's like, yeah, you need a replacement. And I was like, no. Let's go see another guy. And then he said I needed a replacement. So that's 3 surgeons in Portland saying you need a replacement. And I thought to myself, but I won't be able to run anymore. I won't be able to jump. I can't do parkour. I can't do sprints. I can't jump out of a helicopter. There's so much stuff. I want to be an action movie star. I can't do those things. And then so I was like, what's the other method? What can I do? And I dug deep and deep into the literature and all of the experts around me in my field of weight training and these big, strong men who have had these hardcore injuries and who have came back from crazier stuff than this. And they all suggested healing through movement, finding exercises that work for you. Then I went to Kabuki Strength here in the Portland area. And then at Kabuki, they recommended I get under a barbell and squat every single day. And that's what I did. I squatted every single day at no weight, and then I started to incrementally go up by 1 rep every day for 20 days. And then after 20 days, I added 20 pounds to the bar. And then I did that again, 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps, 4 reps, until I got to 20. And then I did that again. And now today, as I sit before you, we're at 375 pounds for 16 reps today. And I'm doing it without even warming up. I'm not even putting lighter weights on it. I just go right under 375 and start squatting. And I'm not saying that as a brag, but I'm saying that as this is how this system works. I came back from a hard injury and I'm still seeing uncontrollable strength gains. Now, I know that's not everybody's goal here in the group is to just get swole or to get a lot stronger. But if you get stronger before you start thinking about how strict you need to be with the rest of everything else, you can run a much more efficient ship. When you have strong muscles on your body, you process calories better. When you feel the effects of eating poorly because that strength training session didn't go as good, you're going to be much more inclined because of this loss aversion principle to want to eat healthy. For me, when I'm squatting in the morning and I've eaten a bunch of crap, I feel inflamed and I can't squat well. It doesn't feel good and I feel like I'm missing out on a good session. This hits me in the brain saying, hey, you know what, Steve? You got to clean up your diet. You got to eat better. And then when I eat better and I sleep better, lo and behold, when I get under that squat bar, it feels so much better. And so now I'm on the road to 400 pounds, and then eventually we'll be on the road to 450, and we're going to see what we can do here. All right, everybody, that's the check-in for the day. Thank you, everybody, for your live check-ins and for listening to me rant. Stick to it to get to it. Watch out for that loss aversion heuristic and all the other heuristics we've mentioned. We've got 6 more to go. So if you're appreciating this series for the science that we're bringing you behind it, by the way, nobody else is talking about these things. Nobody else is bringing up cognitive bias when it comes to diet. This is our special secret. So if you do want to let the secret out, I'm okay with it, though. You can do that by sharing this post on Facebook or waiting till the YouTube link is up and sharing that with a friend who you think might be struggling with diet. All right, everybody, stick to it to get to it. I'm out.